she's still human. The Volturi don't give second chances.
We get to know who the Cullens are a little bit more in this, which I really dug.
Yeah.
You know, did you guys feel more connected to the film now that you got to kind of explore the character?
Well, we felt connected, I think, on Twilight, and then we kind of took a little hiatus on New Moon because it was more about the werewolves, and now we're back in full force in the third one, which was kind of nice.
I really enjoyed feeling like I was sort of immersed in, really involved in this, and not just because of the flashback sequence, but just like, all of us together in this fight training and spending all day, every day together. When you go through something like so physically exhausting, you're bound to get even closer.
The fighting scenes were unbelievable. How much training went into all that?
It was a lot of training, and what I think the fans, and I mean, for myself, which I love seeing, is the Cullens, the family together, uniting, and you saw that in the first movie with the baseball scene. I knew the fans really liked that. And then they're really going to enjoy us fighting for the great cause of protecting Bella. But the training, we did like 6 weeks of mixed martial arts and parkouring, and then really specialized in our own characters' talent as far as it being vampiric strength and size, or her agility, or just his well-training of everything, because he's known how to defeat the newborns because of his past.
Elizabeth, you're an action hero now.
She's an action superstar.
I want to say I would love to see an Esme Cullen doll with the kung fu grip.
Yeah, it's very
We'll have a little pull
unexpected.
string. Take that, bad vampires.
It's so really hard. It's really hard. I was completely out of my element, and it's really hard to make that believable that you're hitting someone without actually hurting
Without
someone.
hitting them.
Yeah.
I remember we did a scene. We did the action scene. You actually hit the stunt man. And you were so worried about it, and the stuntman was like, "No, I get hit all the time. Don't worry about it." But she was like literally almost in tears.
Oh, it was the worst. It was the worst. I mean, and it was probably like that.
Yeah, it was literally like, and she was almost in tears.
Not a good feeling. Not a good feeling. Yeah.
It was interesting though, working with these white cut out werewolves. Like it was either that or a guy in like a gray silver suit, like a spandex
running
suit.
around like foe in my hand.
Yeah, it was like, now here's a werewolf.
Hey, man.
Rawr.
Bella, this is Leah Clearwater, Harry's daughter.
If you're here to torture Jacob some more, feel free to leave.
How has life changed for you guys from New Moon to Eclipse? Is it getting harder to go out without getting, I guess, recognized?
Well, I knew when I was coming in that if for me, I really had to look at what I wanted as an actor and as a person, and to really keep my boundaries up. Because it can get out of hand, and sometimes you can buy into the hype, and believe me, it's hype. And if you're not really clear on what you're here for, you can really buy people telling you all these things in your ear, things like that. So you really have to keep focused, and I knew that was going to happen.
When you get cast, you're not allowed to tell anybody that you've been cast in this film. So she couldn't tell anybody, but we all knew who it was. They got the role. We were texting, who's Julia Jones? We're IMDbing her. Oh, okay, she's cool. Yeah. So it's
Google.
Google.
I wish I'd known I could have talked about it with somebody. I was like, wait, you knew? Alex was like, you found out on Friday, June, da-da-da. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Others may begin to question the Volturi's effectiveness.
Let them.
Do you find that fans are now coming up to you more for your past work, or as a character in Twilight now?
I don't know. I don't know if I like differentiate between the two, but there you gain so many more fans when you're in this, in these films, and I'm still a fan, so I kind of find myself with the fans.
One of the things I thought was really interesting about this movie is the idea of having to team with your I guess your sworn enemy for a greater good. I mean, how'd you guys feel about that?
Well, it was it was one of those nice things about the saga is the first film introduces you to vampires, second film introduces you to werewolves, the third film kind of brings them all together.
And there's a lot of themes that run through this movie. There's themes of vengeance. There's the love triangle. There's the action sequences. But that's my favorite theme is these two opposing cultures that are mortal enemies that are come together for a common good. And I feel like if universally, that's such a great message.
Now, I know you were a big fan, but can you help me understand the whole Post-it note thing with Rob?
Oh, it's so embarrassing. I know.
Well, if you talk about it, we want to know about it.
Right.
So yes, I was and am a huge fan, and my friends hadn't read the books, and they didn't quite relate to what I was going through because I couldn't stop talking about it. And so for my birthday, one of my closest friends, I write a lot of Post-it notes. I'm like a compulsive Post-it note writer. He made a stack of Post-it notes for me with Rob's face on it, and under it said "Live dangerously." And I was like, "This is the best gift I've ever gotten."
And then you get to fight him.
And they're like, I know. Yeah, I tried to be as careful as I could because I didn't want to hurt his beautiful face.
Well, your character Jasper, we really get an idea of who this guy is. And I think your backstory was really interesting, coming from the Civil War and all. How fun was that to get a chance to kind of ride the horse and go back to that kind of time period?
Oh, it was great. I think I fooled the producers into letting me go riding every day for 3 hours. I was like, oh yeah, I've never ridden before. No, I'm from Texas. I've ridden a lot.
Is it true that you have some ties to the Civil War? I mean, descendant? I've read this, so I'm just curious.
I'm a descendant of Stonewall Jackson, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, direct descendant. So.
Wow. How, what a coincidence, huh?
Right.
You know?
It's fun.